what is Adiyogi and how the yoga has come from. This is the story that we are conveying to the people. Sadhguru was saying that we need to bring out the story of Adiyogi. People know him as a Shiva, and there are a lot of stories and tales about what all Shiva has done, but why he became the Adiyogi. So that is the time I started seeing some of these projections being made on some statues in the Western countries. I sent one of those videos to Sadhguru, and Sadhguru said we can do something like this. Once Sadhguru says always things will come and fall in place. One meditator, his name is Avijit, and he is a volunteer, and he is into making the projections on the statues and projection mapping. He has created an animation of what kind of visuals can be put on Adiyogi. That spark of what Sadhguru said and wanted and what he is presenting, this both got connected.
Swami Vidyavasanta called me up. Then he said, can you do it for Mahashivratri? I said, Swami, the time is very short. He said, how long will it take? It's at least 6 to 7 months it will take us to do it.
So me and Avijit went, and then we were in front of Adiyogi. We were wondering, in this black surface, how this projection is going to happen.
It's arguably the world's first projection mapping on a black surface we did. So there are no precedents about it anywhere in the world.
Because I have not seen, whenever any projector, to my knowledge, if anything need to be projected, they will always bring on white screen and it will, wherever it is, nobody has projected even in little colored walls. So that is how we have seen.
Adiyogi, dark in color, which makes him so beautiful. There's a sheen on the surface when the sun rises or the sun sets. It looks beautiful. But from projection mapping per se, that's a bit of a challenge.
As a projectionist, we always look at the best lux value, which can bring out the true colors and the contrast canvas, which being black is totally opposite from what conventional knowledge we know about projection is.
So what we did was we got 1:16 ratio, 7 feet tall Adiyogi.
And which was placed in a studio. And what we actually did is got in smaller projectors, we mapped Adiyogi in the scale format, and then we gave direct access to the content team where they could do the color profiling on black. So when we had the actual statue, the content team could understand the depth of all the effects on Adiyogi.
We started getting the colors right. Now came the script part. So we tried out things and all, and then finally we all decided the right person for the script is Sadhguru. So we sat there with Sadhguru and we did the script with him.
So we had a meeting with Sadhguru where he went through line by line, he edited, he corrected. He don't want it to be too elaborate. He wanted to be short, at the same time very powerful.
So we all took a decision. When Sadhguru told us the story, we said we'll have Sadhguru only narrate this whole thing because nobody else can bring in that authenticity into that story.
So Sadhguru's agreed to give the voice.
And hence he is the Ardhanari, the ideal man, where one half of him is woman.
Once Sadhguru's voice came, it's just like became like 50% successful because the voice is so powerful. Now all of us have to work towards that. He has set the benchmark as very high just by his voice.
So the story happened. Then the team came in. Initially, as per simulation, we had taken in 12 projectors.
Where they told me 12 projectors is going to be given to you and you have to do the mapping with it. And I'd already made up my mind saying that it's not possible with 12 projectors. Anything with a lower brightness doesn't give the true justice to the content also.
Somewhere not too far from Mahashivratri, we wanted to show to Sadhguru. And that is the first time we all are seeing, including Avijit. And then it is a disaster.
The results were not good that day. The brightness wasn't coming with 12 projectors.
We were expecting at least with 20-30% drop, we will be able to see in the statue. What has come there was some 70% drop. We were barely able to see colors, and we were wondering what is going to happen.
That is when Sadhguru saw and he said, we'll have to double the number of projectors. So that he understood.
When Sadhguru said, let's increase the projector count, I was so happy because then we could achieve what we wanted in terms of brightness and the colors.
It's not just the projectors, it's importing the projectors from Japan and getting all those numbers on time before Mahashivratri. He hardly had a month and a half with us. So projectors normally they take at least 60 to 90 days to come in.
Our plan was we finish everything by January and then we'll just focus on how to do this in the Adiyogi. But right now we have to double the projectors, we have to import the projectors, and Avijit also had to work with so many parameters and importing in that quick time from Japan because those are not available here.
Epson at that time, Epson India team, for them also it was a huge project to happen, like Adiyogi. They wrote to Japan and they said we have to get it urgently. So they shipped in as many as they could, but 18 projectors with us. 6 we rented it, so which Epson only arranged and rented for us.
So once Sadhguru has told this and how he wants the music, that also he clearly told what instrument need to come, what point of the time it come, what instrument should not be used. He went into the detail of how this has to be done.
We had initially planned to start this work in December. When I actually received the files were around Makara Sankranti in January. Mahashivratri was on 4th March. The only thing that was running in our mind was like, how are we going to manage between the Mahashivratri rehearsals and this, because it was almost cutting close.
What you see in the Divya Darshanam in the statue is not same. It is in a more two-dimensional and it is been stretched and it looks very distorted. So you don't know actually what you are getting.
Like Adiyogi's face will be here, the snake will be here, the neck will be here. So something of this sort. Like, so basically you are taking Adiyogi's image and then you are spreading it like this fully. You have to understand, okay, so the snake is moving here, like, and then suddenly something will be happening. You cannot see the face clearly, but without knowing what it is, like, so to do it was a big challenge.
The comfort zone of how this will going to come out, it's like all mystery.
The team moved into the ashram about 15 days before.
So 15 days is when we came on site. Some of the projectors came in just few nights before Mahashivratri. And of course, we had other teams working on site. We had the lighting team doing the lights. We had the sound teams doing the sound. And then we had the general house lighting. All of that, we had to add in the additional projectors in that time, and having this overspill of lights within that space work on Adiyogi.
And we are sitting throughout the nights and days to work on this.
Reacting in a different way with the surface. So we are again working on the colors layer by layer to enhance them.
If something is not okay, they will come and work in the daytime, and the night time we will see how it comes out. If it comes out well, if there are corrections, then again we have to do. So those kind of work is happening because our screen can only be accessed in the night.
It's a nightmare for me.
Until it comes out, the paint color, we don't know what is going to come. We have been hoping and waiting, and that limits us in a big way. So all this work was back and forth was happening.
So in the ashram, the machines were all running 24/7, and the boys were sitting there and working.
Close to around 4 to 5 days, that's when, slowly the projects are coming. Like, so they're saying, okay, so this is the 3rd sequence. I'm like, okay, so where is the full file? Where is the full project?
I mean, we troubled him till the last moment. So every time we used to give him a timeline, and he used to arrange the music and just bounce it off for us. Some changes would happen with the timeline, and you would have to again go back and rearrange the whole thing.
Slowly, like, we are shaping it one by one. And at the same time, I mean, you have to send it back, and then they will say that, okay, so now, but we want some small correction, this correction, that correction.
There were some corrections to be done, small corrections. Just it is on the eve of Mahashivratri, the render got stuck, the file got corrupted,
And we have not seen the whole piece together, not even once. Before Mahashivratri, the night has gone. We were thinking, now it will happen. No, that failed. This render, that failed. So this is not happened. They are still stitching, and this whole output, we have not gotten it. So till morning 6 o'clock, we were hoping something we will see, but we couldn't see the total final output. And that night is Mahashivratri. And then when President comes and inaugurates, it's going to play. We don't know what we are going to show.
and time is going on. So it's 11:30. It's 12 in the afternoon. So at 2 o'clock, they're going to close down the place.
We don't know what the reason was. We went back, we saw what was the possibility of it going wrong. We couldn't diagnose the issues.
And we are going and sitting in wherever they are doing this work, and what is happening? Swamiji, it is coming, it's downloading, it's happening, this is happening, that is happening. As the time goes, it's become more of a pressure.
So my prayer was to Devi. I said, Devi, you have brought me this far now. please, don't let this happen.
So this is at 12:30, 1 o'clock. So then I just gave up after that, like, because Mahashivratri is going to start at 6 p.m. and then I had no other choice but to start to the dais, because there were some security protocols, etc. So then I had to leave. Swami, this is where I take off. So now it's it's between you and Avijit, so between you both, so you figure it out, so whatever you do, it's up to you. I cannot do anything from here.
But at that moment, it was again a forward call saying that let's take the next step forward. We made it into different sections of renders which were already rendered, which were getting rendered, and the parts which were not getting rendered. All this came in bits and pieces in multiple drives. So uploading it onto the server, re-rendering those files, everything takes time.
Swami Sukada is calling me desperately saying the mixed files, what was sent by the person who's mixing is corrupt. Now he's asking whether if he can use the rough mixes what we had done. In case we want to play this file one day before to Sadhguru. That was the only reason why we did a backup mix. I'm okay, so this is not the time to think about this, and I don't know, Swami, you decide, I wouldn't recommend that.
Finally, at around 3 o'clock, we took a call. Look, the first portion is rendered, the last portion is rendered. It's just one image. We will go and put it on watch out in the timeline and we will play it. So we took the file.
And we have figured out a way where nobody will know, and there is through the farmlands, they have to come, jump over the fence and come. That is the only way they can reach the place from where we can play. Because all the other places have been blocked. Because of the security reasons, the president being there.
So on one of those scooties over there, there is Swami Jiva driving the scooty. I am sitting in the middle, and Lee, my Korean partner, he's sitting at the back, 3 of us. So the main entrances were all closed. So we went into the paddy fields, and rickety, and going through that, and I'm carrying that precious hard disk in my hand, and you're going through that, and we're seeing this crowd coming in, and going.
They came and then they jumped, and they were all full of mud and everything, and then they jumped, and then they brought this hard disk. And then we plugged in, we put everything, we kept everything, the timeline, all this has been kept, and still we don't know whether this will happen or not for us, because whether it will play fully or not also we don't know.
Then I went on the stage. This was at 6 p.m. So then the Mahashivratri live event has started. I'm just sitting looking at Adiyogi, and then looked behind at Sadhguru, and then just watching Adiyogi and thinking that okay, so let it just play. Because this is not a mixed file. You've not even played it once. I don't know whether it is syncing with the video properly, because I have not seen the final output. I just left it to graze at that point. I can feel my heartbeat. I can feel everything in my body.
Since we were blind, that stress was there. That what is going to happen? We didn't know.
Sadhguru and the president sits in front.
Everything was going step by step in a positive way, and we were just waiting for that one call, say play.
Now the Honorable President will unveil the Divya Darshanam.
And minute I got the thumbs up, I played.
And I ran outside. Outside I go there and I see the moon forming.
There was a big cheer among the people. The moment just boom, 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 boom.
There is a huge upload in the crowd.
I could hear that some sound is happening, and then I'm just tearing up that for the very first time. I just couldn't control my tears.
Divya Darshanam, 12.5 minutes went smooth without any hindrance. But because we were not it started working. Okay, it has to work next second. It has to work next second. And that is how we have been looking at the Divya Darshanam.
It was surreal for me that moment. What more blessing could I have wanted? Right?
So many people are just, coming for this Divya Darshanam and watching it. Whatever we have done, it is nothing. And at the end of the day, they are getting to know what is Adiyogi,
A lot of people go for entertainment, but here people are coming to get enriched on Adiyogi's story. That says a lot.
Even when we put it in Bangalore, there is a huge traffic jam in National Highway between Bangalore to Hyderabad when Divya Darshanam ends. So that speaks everything.
Every director or every artist, he is always remembered for one thing. He may have done many things afterwards or before that, but he's always remembered for something particular. I think Adiyogi Divya Darshanam is that for me. Adiyogi came to me as a blessing.